A very good morning to all of you. Hope you can hear me and can see the screen. Now, the purpose of today's tutorial is to give you instructions on the mid-examination. For your some subjects in this semester, you will have a written examination. IT and maths, you have a written examination. But for this subject, the law subject, law 1270, your mid-examination will be held as an assignment, which is a take-home one. You don't really have to come to the university and sit for like 2 hours. You can do it leisurely at home, at any place you can get together, right? This mid assignment is a group one. This is a group assignment. The groups have been informed to you in advance. Now all of you need to be aware of your groups. All of you need to be aware of your groups, right? You have to be aware of your groups. And it's like this. First you have to go and check your main group, major group. You are in A2 or A3, then your subgroup is there. Group 1, 2, 3, so on. Formation of group as WhatsApp groups or Viber, Telegram, you can form a group. To form the group, the responsibility goes to the first person in the subgroup. Let's say A1 group 1, here Sajana Vasura. Sajana has the responsibility to find all the other members and create the WhatsApp group. If Sajana is not there, or now let's say the first person is not attending the sessions, absent, so then don't wait until first person do that. Just have a one group, right? Imasha or Ashini, other members can check on rest of the members and they can form their own groups. If you have any issues of finding your members, please let us know. We will help. And in case if one or two members are absent, right, or they have informed you that they have not attending for the degree program, so you have to mention it in the uh, assignment. This member is informed that not attending for the session, so on and so forth, right? So first responsibility of all of you is finding your group members. So once you formed your groups, you can look into the assignment. Assignment question is almost available in the LMS. This assignment is for 30 marks. This assignment is for 30 marks. And it is a report submission which you have to done in groups. 26th June, Sunday, is the submission deadline. Assignment submission deadline. The submission have to be done through the LMS. There will be a separate link available on the LMS for you to submit the assignment. Most importantly, there will be no extensions for given deadline. If there are any extensions, we will let you know, right, from our end, right? But now, if you look at from today onwards, you have more than 1 month to get ready to the assignment, to do the write-up, to prepare notes, and to do these things. You have a 1 month. And also this is a group assignment. You can divide the task among your members, assign responsibilities to your members, so then you can have a good teamwork. This will be an opportunity for you to interact with your friends as well. Well, if you go to the assignment, mainly this is the question for 30 marks. So getting 30 marks is not easy. You have to have a very good write-up. You have to do a lot. You have to do a lot of research on this. Can you see the screen? It's a PowerPoint. It's a PowerPoint about mid examination. Okay. So this is the mid examination guide 2020. The subject is law 1270 legal environment. Now you have to understand what the assignment is. Simply read with me the statement given. Your assignment is based on the lesson Human Rights and Fundamental Rights, which we have covered a couple of weeks ago. The recordings are available, so you can go through the recording. The recording and the reading materials are not enough. The presentation and the recording are not enough. You have to do a lot of research. Google is there. You can Google and find more information. Then only you can do the assignment. Don't stick to the theory part we have done in the lecture. There are a lot to do. The statement given is the protection of freedom of speech and expression is essential for the democratic political process and the development of every human being. Important part is democratic political process and the development of every human being. So the assignment is about freedom of speech and expression. And this freedom of speech and expression is essential and integral for democratic political process. So what do you mean by democracy? Democracy is involvement of general public in the governance. Democracy means people elect rulers, people involved in decision-making process of the government. Democracy means that under dictatorships, there are no public involvement in the decision-making processes. There are no public representatives, public actually suppressed in dictatorships. But in democracy, the other way around, general public representation and public voice has a place. So in democratic political processes, it is very important tool to raise people's voice by freedom of speech and expression. Apart from the political life, generally if we look at a human being, this is an essential human right for the development of every human being. As humans, we have to communicate. Communication matters in modern society. Communication, verbal communication, written communication, in any way, we are expressing our ideas. New ideas, right to speak is important for the human development. So this right is important politically as well as individually for all human beings. Because we say, Aristotle once said, man is a political animal. And Adam Smith told, man is an economic animal. So then, as a political and economic animal, in order to enjoy full benefit of humanity, people need to have freedom of speech and expression. So you can't reserve to yourself without communicating to anyone. It's very difficult. So when we talk about this freedom of speech and expression, this is a right in itself. if we separately look at freedom of speech and expression, it is very convincing, crucial, important, right? Separately, we have like separately look at this right, freedom of speech and expression, it's highly important, as well as it is a component right of other rights protected under the Constitution. Component of other rights. In order to effectively enjoy other human rights, it is essential to have freedom of speech and expression. මේ කියන්නේ භාෂණය සහ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ අයිතිවාසිකම අපිට අනිත් අයිතිවාසිකම් වඩාත් හොඳින් ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම සඳහා උපකාරී වෙනවා. අනෙක් අයිතිවාසිකම් තුල අඩංගු අයිතිවාසිකම. කියන්නේ මේ අයිතිවාසිකම නැතුව අනිත් අයිතිවාසිකම් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න අපහසුයි කියලා කියනවා. Component of other rights. Component of other rights. For example, if we talk about right to information, in a democratic society, every person should be able to receive information. Let's say government is going to debt rescheduling and they are having some discussions with IMF. So people want to know the progress and also the expenses to the tour, right? So people want to know the ultimate result. So that is the information. There should be information inflow to the society, what really they have been done. So in order to effectively enjoy right to information, right to freedom from speech and expression, freedom of speech and expression is essential. How people get the information without having freedom of speech and expression? If the information is not flowing to people, people should be able to question it. How people question it? By exercising their freedom of speech and expression. Questioning from newspapers, they're using newspapers, they're using mass media and social media. People question, what's your assets? Declare your assets and liabilities, right? People are questioning the politicians. Declare your assets, declare your liabilities. That pressure is given by exercising freedom of speech and expression. So in order to effectively enjoy or effectively operate right to freedom, right to information, it is essential, integral to have freedom of speech and expression. So not only right to information, there are some other rights also you can think of. So the idea is it is a component of other rights. And at the same time, freedom of speech and expression can conflict with other rights. It is a component of other rights and also it conflicts with other rights enshrined by the Constitution. Conflict with other rights means conflicting. Conflicting means there is a struggle between, right? Sometimes when people go to the extreme end of freedom of speech and expression, so that will harm to others. That will harm to others. Let's say privacy. We all have our right to keep our personal matters for ourselves, right? Now in Sri Lankan Constitution, we haven't recognized right to privacy, but as a general human right to privacy is for every human, right? So if I talk with you in general sense, now imagine there is a patient having a very personal disease, let's say a kidney failure or something. It's a very personal, and that patient doesn't want to let others to know about it. But the patient is well famous, reputed one. So the media always going behind the celebrities. Therefore, this kidney patient who is also a celebrity this media has leaked this disease about the celebrity. Right? They have like the personal information has been communicated to the general public. So that is totally uh, against the privacy of that individual. Right? So then the media will say this is freedom of speech and expression. Is that the freedom of expression? Is that the freedom of expression? Can people exercise freedom of speech and expression to invade privacy of other people? Can to defamate other people? Right? Now in US, there is a case ongoing between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Right? So the Amber Heard has given a statement for a UK newspaper about a domestic violence incident. So there she has not even mentioned Depp's name, but Depp sued her for for allegating him again for domestic violence. Right? It implies, the statement implies that this might have been done by Johnny Depp. So that is not good for his reputation. So can we exercise freedom of speech and expression to disharm, to destroy a reputation of another person? It's a question, no? Yes. So it conflict with some other rights. So which means this freedom of speech and expression needs to have its own limitations. We want to have a clear idea what are the extremes, what are the four corners of the right. So based on this statement, your question is, assignment question is, in light of the above statement, what freedom of speech and expression is essential for democratic life and the general life of a human being. It's a right, it is an important right even if we take it as separately. And also it is integral for exercise of other rights. It's a component of other rights, as well as it is a conflicting right with other rights. So it has a hybrid appearance. Freedom of speech and expression has hybrid appearance, right? It is a component right as well as conflicting with others. So based on this statement, there are different subtopics assigned to your groups. Group 1, topic 1, group 2, topic 2, group 3, topic 3. Likewise, you have to stick to the group topic assigned to you. There are 15 groups, maximum there are 15 groups. So there are 15 topics. So you have to go and check what is the topic assigned to your group. Then that topic is a different dimension of freedom of speech and expression. There is a dimension added to the right. So then first you look at it, whether this is a component one or the conflicting one or both. Right? Well, let's say freedom of expression and privacy. Right? So first you have to think, freedom of expression is essential for the privacy or it is conflicting or both. So obviously it is conflicting. So then you have to start from that end. So that's why in light of the above statement, is that when you're writing the assignment, always you have to go to the assignment question and revisit it. Whether am I addressing the assignment question? Because once you start writing, little ahead, you will forget the question and you write your own thing. So that's why most of the time in the assignment, students are losing marks. So you have to always stick to the given statement and the topic. The groups are expected to write a report. So this will be a report, 3000 word report, 3000, because this is 30 marks and your group consists of 10 members maximum. So you can divide the task among your members, right? So then this is a collective work of effort. Therefore, you have to write a report for 3000 words based on Sri Lankan context. This is important. Based on Sri Lankan context. Now, this is a timely topic. When we talk about freedom of speech and expression, this is actually what people are struggling in right now. People protest against the government and some political leaders. So how they protest? By exercising their freedom of speech and expression. There are different dimensions of this right. There are different ways people express themselves. There are different methods people follow to speak, right? So in this freedom and expression, you have to based on Sri Lanka first, because this is not an alien thing. First, you have to root into our shoes, get into our shoes. How our people feel it right now? What is the situation in Sri Lanka, constitutionally and judiciary, right? How the constitutional provisions to protect freedom of speech and expression. Apart from the constitution, what are the other provisions, other legislations in the country supports or limit freedom of speech and expression? Then the judiciary. What is the approach of the judiciary? How the case law has been interpreted, right? Is it positively or negatively? How the judiciary approach of interpreting freedom of speech and expression? So that has to be very clear. You have to based on the Sri Lankan context. And then address the assigned topic. There are topics assigned to each and every group. So group 1 should go and check topic 1, group 2, topic 2, so on. Then you are expected to cite required legislative provisions and case laws. So legislative provisions mean how this right exists in the constitution, basically the fundamental rights chapter, no? Right? Fundamental rights chapter and other legislations, how the other legislations interfere to this right, restricting this right, or giving more opportunity to exercise this right. So you can double check. And the case law, how the judiciary has been interpreted. So in order to find this information, you can Google the topic and you can get the keywords and Google the keywords. If not, you can have an interview with stakeholders, even lawyers. You can interview 2 or 3 lawyers about this and you can get more knowledge. So likewise, and experts, you can get the views of an expert, you know, right? So then you can have some additional knowledge. And there are books available, even online and even in libraries. If you can't come to university library, so you can go to a library nearby. I don't know whether they have law books. But anyway, when you come to the mid-examination, there are 2 subjects, maths and IT. The library is open. You can go to the library and you can search in the library as well, right? So you read a lot and enhance your knowledge, right? Then you can support those, you can get the support of those additional information when you're writing the content. Your group report should include the following. You have to start with the introduction. There are different report writing styles are available, but here your subject, you are writing for a law subject. So there is a particular standard way of writing a legal report, right? So then I advise you to follow this format, right? Given format. What the format that I'm going to tell you now. You have to start with introduction, with introduction to the topic with suitable examples, right? So when we say, for example, freedom of speech and expression in times of crisis. So then you can introduce the topic, what is freedom of speech and expression and how this is prevails in international human rights law, right? Internationally, how the provisions available in the UNHRC, United Nations Human Rights Convention, and then the ICCPR, International Covenant on Civil Political Rights, then the European Commission's UN EU Charter, Human Rights Charter, European Union Human Rights Charter, how this freedom of speech and expression emerged, and why this right is needed in a society, and how this right actually have taken place in the world. So general introduction with suitable examples. Here the suitable examples mean you have to focus for incidents. Now pertaining to your subtopic, how freedom of speech and expression have really taken place. Real life examples, real life examples, real life real life examples. Now, for example, let's say in South Korea, there was a protest we call a candlelight protest against the government of the government led by a lady. Uh, it was highly corrupted. People were against the government and the leader, so they have done a candlelight protest. It's a very peaceful, and many people have taken part. So they have been able to kick out the this that government from power. So then such incidents, real life examples, you can bring into the discussion in the introduction pertaining to your topic. Then I told you the entire assignment should be based on Sri Lanka. Therefore, state Sri Lankan experience and identify drawbacks. Now you have to look at the Sri Lankan context. Here the context, the experience mean you have to check the legal situation in Sri Lanka pertinent to your topic. The constitution has guaranteed freedom of speech and expression as a fundamental right, and how this pertinent to your topic, how this right has been challenged or supported by other legislations pertinent to your topic. ඔගලගේ topic එකට අදාළව කොහොමද ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාව ඇරුණාම රටේ තියෙන අනෙකුත් ව්‍යවස්ථාපිත ප්‍රතිපාදන වලින් මේ අයිතිවාසිකම අභියෝගයට ලක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ හෝ අනුමත කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න ඕනේ තමන්ගේ topic එකට අදාළව. And also the case law. අපි නීතිය ගැන කතා කරනකොට ව්‍යවස්ථාදායකය විතරක් නෙමෙයි නීති හදන නීති අර්ථ නිරූපණය කරන අධිකරණයේ මතයත් වැදගත්. Judiciary's opinion also important. So you can look at the case law and pertinent case laws pertinent to your topic. ඔයාලගේ topic එකට අදාළ case laws, right? You can Sri Lankan judgments, you can search Sri Lankan judgments on freedom of speech and expression and privacy. Likewise, you can search. And that's why you want to have a discussion with experts, right? To go more into your roots. The lawyers will definitely know, right? So you can interview 1 or 2 lawyers if you have time and get their own idea, right? And the information, how the judiciary's interpretation and what cases they have done, they have tried to give definitions or try to find 4 corners of the right. Well, so having said that, then identify, once you look at the legislative provisions and the case laws, you will feel that whether this right, whether the prevailing law has been challenged, or whether prevailing law, the case laws are not innovative. So you can identify drawbacks. අඩුපාඩු හඳුනා ගන්න පුළුවන්, if any, right? Then still we have age-old laws, no? So then definitely the world has gone so far. So then definitely drawbacks may be there. So then identify drawbacks. These are the limitations pertinent to your topic. These are the limitations, because we say this is a component right. Freedom of speech and expression is a component right as well as it is a conflicting right. So then you can, based on one of these grounds, and you can find the drawbacks, right? Then, in order to overcome the drawback, you have to give solutions, no? You have to give recommendations. But how you give recommendations? By looking at some other countries who have very well developed legal systems compared to Sri Lanka. US, UK, England, UK mean United Kingdom, England, India, South Africa, then Australia, Singapore. Likewise, you can check. You can check in which country the most effective privacy laws are available. Right? So you can just search different ways. You can search how much information you filter out depend on the keywords that you're using to search. So you have to search using different terms. Google right? Then you have to compare at least with 2 jurisdictions. Maximum you can at 3. You can compare with 3 countries maximum. Compare with 3 countries maximum, but at least you have to compare the given topic with 2 countries. How this freedom of speech and expression and prevails in England, and how far they have been gone. You can compare. Then once you have done the comparison, you can give solutions. You can recommend. So if these countries have taken the ABCD approach, I mean XYZ, but these steps to for the development, so Sri Lanka also can take, if those are feasible to Sri Lankan context. Sometimes contextual difference is also there. Now, Sri Lankan society, our culture, our system is different, and American culture, their system is different. So sometimes those recommendations are more effective and practical in America, but when it comes to Sri Lanka, the process will be like just limited to the law. People won't like follow it, and it won't be effective in Sri Lanka. So when you are when you're doing the comparison, be careful when you're selecting countries. At least one should be a South Asian country, that to fit with the regional context, right? South Asia, because Eastern approach and the Western approaches are different. So then concern about that as well. Then you have to give the recommendation. So those are the 4 main areas you have to be well focused in the report, right? So in order to answering this, you have to do one key thing. It is research. University is place of research, not like your school. In your school, you have done something different. In university, you can't do how did assignments in school. These assignments are research oriented. Search means what? You're finding something. You're finding information per subject of the freedom of speech and expression. That is the key main assignment. Main question is based on freedom of speech and expression. So you are searching on that. Searching, but you are researching. Researching means pertinent to freedom of speech and expression. What scholars, it can be Vidwatun, scholars, what they have done so far. මොනවද යාලා මේ කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක බලලානේ උගලන් assignment එක කරන්නේ. So then what you do? You are doing search. This is not just a search. You are doing a research. ආපහු බලනවා. Research. Right? So you are Googling it and checking what others have been done. Right? So for freedom of speech and expression, each and every group have another part added. Privacy, democracy, defamation, likewise some parts have been added. So you are searching on the whole topic. You are researching. So in order to answer this assignment, what you have to do is doing the research. You have to find information. You have to research. How you research? By reading books, by reading articles or the information available on the internet. You can have interviews, right? So likewise, you can find information doing a research. You cannot write successful answer using only slides. So my advice is don't stick to slides and presentations. You can go beyond that. How you go beyond that? By reading. This is an opportunity where you can creatively contribute to the nation by giving solutions to issues of the country. Now, if you look at country right now, freedom of speech and expression is timely topic. People are following different ways to express their selves, their ideas, their political opinion, their grievances, their objection, their opposition, right? Their sorrow, their dislikeness. That is how they express themselves. So then you can look into these problems from the legal perspective, right? Even you all are management students, now you know about the basics of law. So you can look from the legal perspective. So then all these are actually based on freedom of speech and expression. That is the theoretical basis. So this, based on this theory, what are the drawbacks we do have? Right? Pertinent to privacy, pertinent to protest, and pertinent to social media. What are the drawbacks we do have as a country? And then compare to other countries and give innovative solutions. So this is not something alien. This is which you really can enjoy, right? Because this is timely topic. We all are facing similar issues. So this is something you really feel it. So take it this as an interesting project. Living project, live in the assignment. If you live in the assignment, you can get good marks because you do it not off by heart, but you are doing it with your willingness. This is a test how you can tell how well you can convert what you learned into the real world. You are transforming your knowledge to fit with the real world. So that's the meaning of theory into practice. So the research is what everybody else have seen and to think what nobody else have thought. So people know about right to freedom of expression. They are exercising it. So that is the general thing. But you all are university students. So you want to think nobody else have thought of it. So you are doing comparing this, right, with some other countries based on a different aspect, and you are giving solutions to Sri Lanka. So you are doing a research. Research is a way of creating new knowledge, right? Pertinent to right to freedom of expression and speech, pertinent to privacy. You are exercising it to where? You are exercising it to create new knowledge. These are the limitations in Sri Lanka. By looking at these three countries, these are the proposals we could give. When you are giving the proposals, this part I missed. When you're giving the proposals, when you're doing the comparison, in the comparison, you can bring the case laws and the statutory provisions of other countries. يعني ඒ රටවල් වල මොනවද තිබ්බ නීති, ඒ රටවල් වල අධිකරණ මොනවද ගත්ත මතවාදයන් කියලා ඒ විදේශ අධිකරණ වල තීන්දුවත් ඔයගලන්ට ගන්න පුළුවන්. යුරෝපියන් යුනියන් එකේ තීන්දුව තියෙනවා. නේද? ඒ වගේ ඒ රටවල් වල අධිකරණයන් ගත්ත ඒවත් අර කම්පැරිසන් එකේට අර legislative provisions සහ case laws ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒ රටේ. Right? And the research need to be done in a systematic scientific way. මම මේක systematic කියන්නේ කොහොමද, scientific වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක මම ඊළඟට කියන්නම්. Because when you're researching, you're reading others work. අනිත් අයගේ වැඩනේ උගලන් බලන්නේ, අනිත් අයගේ ලියලා තියෙන්නේ මොනවද කියලා බලනවා. ඒ බලලා ඒවා ලියනකොට ඔයාලගේ රිසර්ච් එකට ගන්නකොට අනිත් අය කියපු දෙයක් තමන්ගේ වගේ කියන්න බෑ. අපි රිෆර් කරන්න ඕනේ යාව. මෙන්න මෙයා මේ විදිහට කියලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට අපිට එයාගේ වචන වලින් කියන්න බෑ. එයාගේ අදහසක් හොරා ගන්න බෑ. හොරකම් කරන්න බෑ. කියන්නේ මේ අපි විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය තුල පරිශ්‍රණ වල නිරත වෙනකොට අපිට තව කෙනෙක්ගේ අදහස් හොරකම් කරන්න බෑ. අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මෙයා කියලා තියන්නේ මේ විදිහට කියලා අපේ භාෂාවෙන් කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර අපේ භාෂාවෙන් කියලා අපි දානවා ෆුට්නෝට් එකක් දානවා මම ඉස්සරහට කියලා දෙන්නම් රෙෆරන්ස් එකක් දානවා මෙන්න මෙයා තමයි මෙහෙම කියලා තියෙන්නේ. අපේ අදහසුත් එකතු කරන්න පුළුවන් අපි අපේ අදහස කියන්නේ අනිත් අය කියලා තියන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා බලලා. A කියලා තියන්නේ මෙහෙම B කියලා තියන්නේ මෙහෙම C කියලා තියන්නේ මෙහෙම හැබැයි මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මගේ අදහස මේක. right? එතකොට මේක හරියම මේ ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට අවංක වෙන්න ඕනේ මේ රිසර්ච් එකක් කරද්දී. අපි ප්ලේජරයිස් කරනවා කියන්නේ අනුන්ගේ අදහස් හොරා ගන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ. අපි වංචාවක් කරන්නේ. It is an examination offense. එහෙම අනිත් group එකක assignment එකක් copy කරොත් අනිත් කෙනෙක්ගේ අනිත් රචකයෙක්ගේ තොරතුරක් ඕගොල්ලන් තමන්ගේ අදහසක් විදිහට දැක්වුවොත් අපි ඒක බලනවා. එහෙම වුණොත් ඒ වගේ assignment එකක් කෙලින්ම ලකුණු 15ක ඉඳලා තමයි අපි මාක් කරන්නේ. අඩුවෙන්ම තමයි මාක් කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒතකොට ලකුණු 15ක් නැති කරගන්නවද genuine effort එකක් කරනවද කියලා it's up to you. You have to genuinely do it. Plagiarism is an examination offense. We are checking the similarity. ඒ කියන්නේ සමහරවිට similarities කියන්න පුළුවන්. කියන්නේ ටිකක් කොහෙන් හරි බලුවා similarities කියන්න පුළුවන්. Similarity is allowed only up to 30%. 30% තමයි similarity එක අපි allow කරන්නේ. නමුත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න ඔයාලා first year නිසා මේවා දැනගෙන ඉන්න. නමුත් අපි අලුත් නිසා ඔයාලගේ මේවා ගොඩාක් මේ දරුණුවට බලන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් මතක තියාගන්න වෙන කෙනෙක්ගේ දෙයක් ලියනවා නම් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකේ දෙයක් අපි අරගෙන ලියනවා නම් ඒක තමන්ගේ භාෂාවට පරිවර්තනය කරලා තමන්ගේ වචන වලින් ලියන්න. ඒවට එක එක tools උත් තියෙනවා. ඒක පාවිච්චි කරලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හැබැයි ඒ tools වලින් ඒවා රීෆ්‍රේස් කරනකොට එන වචනේ meaning එක හරිද කියලා හොඳට බලන්න. right? ඉතින් මේ අනුන්ගේ අදහස් තමන්ගේ වගේ ලියන්න එපා. අනිත් groups වල reports දැන් එහෙම copy කරන්නත් එපා. right? If we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be a research. අපි දන්න දේම අපි කිව්වොත් එහෙම එක රිසර්ච් එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ. අලුත් දේවල් හොයන්න ඕනනේ. ඒතර අලුත් දෙයක් තමයි අපි රිසර්ච් එකක output එක බවට පත් වෙන්න ඕනේ. So don't get frustrated if you couldn't immediately think of an answer. දැන් ඔයගලන්ට ඔළුවට එන්නේ නැහැ. If you want to get the answer, you have to do a research. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ assignment එක කරන්න කලින් පොඩ්ඩක් වෙලාව ආරන් ඒ ගැන හොයන්න. ලෝකේ මොනවද මේ ගැන තියෙන්නේ? ලංකාවේ මේ ගැන කොහොමද තියෙන්නේ? කියන එක හොඳට කියවන්න. කියවුවට පස්සේ තමයි ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අවබෝධයක් ගන්න වෙන්නේ. ඒතර මේක assignment එකක් වෙන නිසා මම මේ generally කියලා දෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ topics ගැන අපෙන් in detail අහන්න බෑ. මේකද ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ වැඩක් මේක. ලකුණු 30ක් නේ විභාගේ කොටසක් නේ. හැබැයි මේක කරන විදිහ ගැන අපි උපදෙස් දෙනවා. මේ topics වල content එක අපි හොඳට බලලා තොරතුරු තියෙනවද කියලා බලලා තමයි මේ topics දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මේවට තොරතුරු තියෙනවා. ඒවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොයාගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. ඒකල තමයි assignment එක කළ යුත්තේ. එතකොට කියන්නේ සමාන assignments දෙකක් තියෙන්න බෑ කිසිම වෙලාවක. ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. එහෙම තිබුණොත් අපි assignment දෙකම මාක් කරන්න ගන්නේ ලකුණු 15න්. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ ලකුණු 15ක්ම විභාගෙදී අහිමි වෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ ගැන ගොඩක් concern වෙන්න කරන ක්‍රමවේදය පිළිබඳව අපි ඕන වෙලාවක ඔයාලට උපදෙස් දෙනවා. Don't ask information about the content of the given topics. We always there to support you regarding the procedure, how you could do this, the word count, and the referencing styles. So those things are for academic honesty, how you could practice academic honesty. So for regarding the basic procedure of doing the assignment, we always there. The entire team is always there to help you, but the content. Don't ask me about whether this is coming under this topic. Content related things actually we are not bound to tell you because it's your assignment, part of your examination. Now the topics. There are 15 topics given. One topic assigned to each group, right? Group 1, topic 1, group 2, topic 2, likewise it goes on. Now these topics actually have been formed considering different aspects of freedom of speech and expression. Different aspects of freedom of speech and expression, right? So you can see always there is some addition to the topic, right? First one, freedom of speech and expression of government employees. Now these days in this public protest, people are most of the time are criticizing the government. So then there are some restrictions have been imposed by certain heads of departments and heads of ministries and public authorities to these public servants should not criticize the government, so on and so forth. So every person in Sri Lanka have right to freedom of speech and expression, but being a government employee is that reason not to or restrict that right. So you can search on that. Then freedom of speech, expression, and hate speech. Hate speech mean against certain religions, against certain cultures, not only in Sri Lanka but in globally as well. There are some campaigns, hate speech campaigns are going on. Can we justify these hate speech under freedom of speech and expression? So if not, what are the restraints? What are the approaches taken by judiciaries? In Sri Lanka, sometimes we had a campaign called Sinhala, prioritizing Sinhala Buddhist, and suppressing other ethnic groups. So can we justify this under freedom of speech and expression? Right. So those things you can critically discuss. Freedom of speech and expression and incitement of violence. Incitement of violence. Vaire paturuwanna, prachandatve wapuranna. Right. So there are people make statements, even the politicians sometimes, even public, they support for the violence. So the statements and behaviors, incitement of violence comes under freedom of expression. I'm just saying some politicians are saying, so අර මොකද කියන්නේ අර කපුටෙක්ගේ තට්ටක් ගලවලා එල්ලුවා නම් ඔක්කොම බය වෙනවා කියලා කියනවා. So this is statements. These statements are incitement of violence. ඒතර මේවා freedom of speech and expression අතරට ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Then මම කියන්නේ මේ just examples හොඳේ. ඊට වඩා ඔයාලට broad හිතන්න. Then freedom of speech and expression in arts and entertainment. Arts and entertainment is a language. කලාව කියන්නේ භාෂාවක් නේ, විශ්ව භාෂාවක් නේ. අපිට භාෂාව තේරෙන්නේ නැතුණාට අපි හින්දි චිත්‍රපට රස විඳිනවා, ඉංග්‍රීසි චිත්‍රපට රස විඳිනවා නේ. අපිට භාෂාව තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ language එක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ, හැබැයි ඒක විශ්ව භාෂාවක්. අපිට තේරෙනවා, හඳුනා ගන්න පුළුවන්, අපිට දැනෙනවා. So arts and entertainment also have been used. It's a freedom of expression. හැබැයි සමහර චිත්‍රපට සමහර වේදිකා නාට්‍ය වෙන්න පුළුවන්, සමහර කෙටි චිත්‍රපට වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ඒවා ත්‍රස්තවාදය ගැන වෙන්න පුළුවන්, යුද්ධය ගැන වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ඒවා තහනම් කරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට එහෙම තහනම් කිරීම කොච්චර දුරට සාධාරණද? දැන් මේ ජෙහාන් අපුහාමි කියන කලාකරුවා East Sunday attack එකෙන් පස්සේ ඒකේ මේ වසරේ තිබුණ ඒ දිනය නිමිත්තෙන් ඔහු කුරුසයක් කර තියාගෙන ඔහුගේ විරෝධතාවය ඒ යුක්තියක් ඉටුවිය යුතුයි මේගේ පුද්ගලයන්ට කියලා ඔහු යම් කටයුත්තක නිරත වුණා. ඒක කියවීමක්, ඒක කලාවක්, කලාකරුවෙක් විදිහට ආගමත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා ඔහු කලාව තුලින් යම් අදහසක් ප්‍රකාශ කරේ. ඒ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශනය තුළ මිනිස්සුන්ට දැනෙනවා මේ ක්‍රිස්තියානි බැතිමතුන් අපේම කොටසක් ඔවුන්ට තාම යුක්තිය ඉටු වෙලා නැහැ කියලා. ඒක කොහොමද මේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා කියන්නේ කතා කිරීම වාචිකව සහ ලිඛිතව ලිවීමම විතරක් නෙමෙයි. කලාවත් භාෂාවක්. කලාවත් අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමක්. ඒ වගේම ඒ දවසේ කොළඹ පුරා මේ පුද්ගලයන් 7 දෙනා East Sunday attack එක නිසා මියගිය පුද්ගලයින්ව නිරූපණය කරමින් උපත විපත සඳහන් කරමින් මේ මළගිය ආත්මයන්ට සාධාරණයක් ඉටුවිය යුතුයි කියලා කොළඹ නගරය පුරා මියගිය අය විදිහට ඇඳගෙන මොවුන් ගමන් කරා. ඒ ගමන් කරේ මියගිය පුද්ගලයන්ට සාධාරණයක් ඉඳලා. ඒතර සමහර වෙලාවට කතා කරනවා ලියනවට වඩා මෙවැනි ප්‍රකාශනයන් මිනිස්සුන්ට දැනෙනවා. සහ මේවා අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ ක්‍රමවේද. අර මම ඔයගලන්ට ඉගන්නුවා නඩුවක් සිරිමල් එදිරිව අමරතුංග ජනഘോഷා නඩුව. ඒ ජනഘോഷයන් අඩුවේ තමයි ලංකාවේ ඉතිහාසයේ ප්‍රථම වතාවට කිව්වේ මේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න දේශපාලන පක්ෂයකට තියෙන ප්‍රතිවිරුද්ධ මතවාද දරන්න මිනිසුන්ට විවිධ ක්‍රමවේද භාවිතා කරමින් අදහස් ප්‍රකාශනයේ නිරත වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. බෙරේකට ගහමින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් අර මේ සාස්පාන් දෙකක් එකට වද්දමින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හෝන් එකක් නාද කරමින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඕනම විදිහකට. ඒතර දැන් මේ ක්‍රමවේද මේ බලන්න මෙතරම් ලස්සන විරෝධ ආකල්ප දරන ක්‍රමවේද බිහි වෙලා තියෙනවා. Right? Then this go to home campaign, the people have shown their rejected opinions by digitally also. ජනාධිපති ලේකම් කාර්යාලය තුළ ඒගොල්ලන් අර විද්‍යුත් ක්‍රමවේද භාවිතා කරලා තමන්ගේ විරෝධය පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා. අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමක් මේක. ඇයි මේ රතු පාට භාවිතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ? මේ ස්ටේට්මන්ට්ස් වලින් මොනවද කියන්නේ? right? මිනිස්සු අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරලා තියෙනවා. then the mass communication and media. මෙතන අදහස් කරන්නේ මේ විශාල වශයෙන් පිරිස් වලට ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරන මාධ්‍ය, පුවත්පත්, ජනමාධ්‍ය සහ ගුවන් විදුලිය. right? ජනමාධ්‍ය ගැන කතා කරන්නේ පුවත්පත්, ගුවන් විදුලිය සහ රූපවාහිනිය ගැන. ඒතර මේ තුල ඇතුළත් වෙන සමහර තොරතුරු සහ ඒ තුල ඇතුළත් තොරතුරු සීමා කිරීම. දැන් අපි කාටුන් තියෙනවනේ, පත්තර කාටුන් වල තියෙනවනේ. ඒ කාටුන් වලින් කොච්චර දෙයක් මේ ආර්ට්ස් ඇන්ඩ් එන්ටර්ටේන්මන්ට් ගත්තොත් ඒ කාටුන් වලින් කොච්චර දේවල් කියවෙනවා. ඒ රූප පාවිච්චි කරන්න අසයින්මන්ට් එක කරනකොට. මාස් කමියුනිකේෂන් වල එකයි ස්පීච් ඇන්ඩ් එක්ස්ප්‍රෙෂන්ස් කොහොමද යන්නේ. ඊළඟට ඩෙෆමේෂන්. මම කියවනේ ඇමරිකාවේ යනවා ඩෙෆමේෂන් කේස් එකක් කියලා. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ඩෙෆමේෂන් සම්බන්ධයෙන් තියෙන නීති තත්ත්වය මොකක්ද? අපි එක්ස්ප්‍රෙෂන් කියලා අපිට තව කෙනෙක්ට හාම්ෆුල් වෙන, තව කෙනෙක්ගේ අගතියටපත් වෙන, කීර්තියට හානි වෙන ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න පුළුවන්. පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල උනත් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල മന്ത്രി වරප්‍රසාද තිබුණා කියලා අපිට තව කාන්තාවක් අපහසුතාවයටපත් වෙන, ව්‍යංගාර්ථ හැඟවෙන, අසභ්‍ය වචන කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක freedom of expression. freedom of speech and democracy. ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. මේ රටේ දැන් තියෙන පවතින තත්ත්වයට එක්ක විශාල දේවල් කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් සහ අනෙක් රටවල් දිහාත් බලලා උදාහරණ ගන්න පුළුවන්. freedom of speech and expression and respect to religious beliefs. ඒතර අපි ආගමික මතවාදයන්ට ගරු කරන්න ඕන. ඒතර අපිට ආගමික මතවාදයන් විවේචනය කිරීම අදහස් ප්‍රකාශනයේ අයිතිය බවට පත් වෙනවා. මේ ends දෙකට කොහොමද මේක යන්නේ? ඊළඟට privacy. කෙනෙක්ගේ පෞද්ගලික තොරතුරු කියන්නේ දැන් ඔය සෙලිබ්‍රිටිස්ලා බලන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පෞද්ගලික තොරතුරු පත්තර වලින් දානවා, ජනමාධ්‍ය වලින් දානවා. අද සමහර ඒවා හරි, සමහර ඒවා වැරදි, සමහර අයගේ ජීවිත හානි පවා සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒක freedom of speech ද, expression ද, privacy එක ඉවෙඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම දැන් ට්‍රයල් එකක් යනවා නම්, නඩු විභාගයක් යනවා නම්, ඒ නඩු විභාගයේ සැකකරුවගේ ඉඳන් සියලුම තොරතුරු ජනමාධ්‍යෙන් දානවා, රූප දානවා. ඒතර එතන සාධාරණයක් තියෙනවා. ස්ත්‍රී දූෂණයක ඉන්න විත්තිකරුවෙක්ගේ පීඩිතෙක්, ඒ කියන්නේ වික්ටිම් කෙනෙක්ගේ, වින්දිතයෙක්ගේ තොරතුරු ජනමාධ්‍යෙන් නිරාවරණය කරොත් ඒ ස්ත්‍රී දූෂණ වින්දිතයට මොකද වෙන්නේ? right? ඒතර ඒක පෞද්ගලිකත්වය නේද ඒ කෙනාගේ. freedom of expression and right to receive information. right to receive information. තොරතුරු ලබා ගන්න. ප්‍රධානම දේ තමයි අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීම කියලා කියන්නේ. right? then මේ සම්බන්ධ නඩු තීන්දුව ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. freedom of speech and expression in times of crisis. අර්බුදකාරී අවස්ථාවන් වලදී. අර්බුදයක් කියන්නේ දේශපාලන අර්බුදයක් විතරක් නෙවෙයි, not only political crisis. health crisis එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, social crisis එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඕනම crisis situation එකක් ඇතුළේක කොහොමද මිනිස්සු තමන්ගේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නේ? COVID-19 තියෙනකොට කොහොමද මිනිස්සුන්ගේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ අයිතිය සීමා වෙලා තිබුණේ? right? තිබුණාද? තිබුණා නම් ඒ කොහොමද? crisis situation එකකදී කොහොමද මේ අයිතිවාසිකම් පවතින්න ඕනේ? ඊළඟට right to the truth. එතකොට අපි අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීම සහ මිනිසුන්ට සත්‍ය දැනගැනීමේ අයිතියක් තියෙනවා. ඒතර මේ දෙක කොහොමද පවතින්නේ? සත්‍යමද අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ වෙන්නේ? ඒක අපිට කිරලා මනලා බලන්න පුළුවන්ද? අපි ඒක ඇසස් කරන්නේ කොහොමද? වෙන රටවල් කොහොමද ඒක ගැන හිතලා තියෙන්නේ? freedom of speech and expression on social media. social media ඇතුලේ Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, මේ සමාජ මාධ්‍ය ඇතුලේ කොහොමද අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීම? YouTube එකක වීඩියෝ එකක අපිට කෙනෙක්ව ක්‍රිටිසයිස් කරපුවාම ඒ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ අයිතිය කොහොමද? right? සෝෂල් මීඩියා එක ඇතුලේ කොහොමද අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ අයිතිය අපි effectively පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? Freedom of speech and expression and commercial advertising. Commercial advertising. මේක ටිකක් වාණිජ්‍ය පැත්තට බරයි. මාකටිං වලදී ගොඩක් ආයතන පෞද්ගලික ආයතන තමන්ගේ භාණ්ඩ සහ නිෂ්පාදන අලෙවි කරන්න විවිධ ප්‍රචාරණ ක්‍රමවේද පාවිච්චි කරන විවිධ විදිහට අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන සමහර ඇඩ්ස් බෑන් කරලා තියෙනවා තහනම් කරලා තියෙනවා සමහර ඇඩ්ස් තහනම් කරලා තියෙනවා සමහර ඇඩ්ස් වලින් අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරනකොට එක කොහොමද තියෙන සම්බන්ධය කමර්ෂල් ස්පීච් කියලාත් මේකට කියනවා වාණිජ කතාව කියලා කියන්නේ එච්චර හොඳ වචන නෑ කමර්ෂල් ස්පීච් ඒ කියන්නේ මේ වෙනද වාණිජ ලෝකයේ තුල භාණ්ඩ සහ සේවා අලෙවිය කරගන්න පාවිච්චි කරන ඒ ස්ට්‍රැටජිස් වල අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ අයිතිය කොයි විදිහටද තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර මේවා හරියම ටයිම්ලි ටොපික්ස්. ඔයගොල්ලන් මේක ඉගෙනගෙන ඉන්න එක ගොඩාක් වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා කලෙක්ටිව්ලි ගෲප් එකක් විදිහට මේ පිළිබඳව හැදෑරීම කරන්න. Moving to the assignment. Group leader should submit the assignment. If group leader is absent, then another member of the group could submit it. Another member of the group could submit it. Anyway, one member should submit it, right? So the submission date will be the 26th June, right? So if there is any change to the extension date, due date, we will be let you know. But most of the time this is the date. There will be no extension because we have given you 1 month, right? So 1 month is more than enough to do the assignment. Therefore there will be no extension. If there is any extension, we will let you know in advance. Then when you read the instructions given, 3000 words, right? 3000 words. And academic honesty is important because you have to refer to the sources, right? So you are the authority of the assignment will be increased based on the sources that you referred in the assignment. කොච්චර මූලාශ්‍ර ප්‍රමාණයක් පරිශීලනය කරලාද assignment එක කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන කාරණාව ගොඩක් වැදගත් වෙනවා. මොකද ඒත් එක්ක තමයි තීන්දුව වෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන් assignment එක කොච්චර හොඳට කරලා තියෙනවද කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය කිසිම reference එකක් නැත්තම් කිසිම reference එකක් කියලා අදහස් කරන්නේ refer කරලා නැත්තම් කිසිම දෙයක් reference කියන්නේ refer කරලා තියෙන දෙයක් නැත්තම් ඒ assignment එකේ value එක අඩුයි. ඒතර පුළුවන් තරම් දේවල් කියවලා මේවා කියවුවා කියලා සඳහන් කරන්න ඕන. ඒ සඳහන් කරනකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ක්‍රමවේදයක් මම කියන්නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට નિયમિત ක්‍රමවේදය තමයි right මම පෙන්නන්නම් මෙන්න මෙතන for management students when you are doing an assignment when you supporting your content with previous work done by different scholars you have to refer them. This is what we call academic honesty. You can't write what others have done as it is. You can write it in your own words, but there also you have to refer, I have taken this part from this person. So how you refer it, there are some internationally accepted referencing methods. For management students, recommended referencing method is APA style, American Psychological Association, right? So this is not a must. This is not a must. I'm telling you for your knowledge. If anyone is want to do this, better if they can follow it. If not, I will tell another way to do it. Right? You will anyway little by little get into know these processes. That's why I told you this is different from your school. When you are having a journal article, you have to write it in this way. Right? If you refer to a book, let's say here. If you refer to Kaufman's book, You have to refer in this way. Kaufman, this is written in 2018, name of the book so and so. There is a different way to write it. This is actually for the reference list, right? There are a lot to learn about this, but in generally, if you want to really follow it, you follow it, APA method. If not, let's say here I'm telling mango, right? So I have taken this word from someone else. Word mean the statement. Let's say excited whole statement. In the reference here, in the Word document, reference bar, there is a footnote option. So you can insert footnotes, right? One. So then here you can say from whom you have taken this, right? Name of the author, book, year. If you have followed a website, you can copy the website link, right? And the date you have access to that website. So likewise, you can do something simply like that to cite the to acknowledge the sources you used for the assignment. So that is for the academic honesty. But the second way I told you is not the proper way, but the proper way is following the APA style, but you all are too young. There are still way for you to grow. So that if you can practice it, that's good. But if it's hard, you can go for that simple method. Then most important thing is you have to do this. After the first page, cover page, the second page of your assignment should be include with the task breakdown. Task breakdown means you have to include your names, CPMs, the work, the contribution you made to the assignment, and your e-signatures. You can sign, take a picture of that, send to your friend, so that JPG image can be included to the Word document, right? So, and if there are any members who are absent, you can mention them as well. This member has been absent and we have called this person for several times, but no responses, or the person has confirmed that the person will give up the course or whatever. You have to refer that also. Include that also, right? So then you have undersigned the task you have done to the group. And how we are going to mark. Marking criteria is also important, because when you're writing, you have to know about the marking criteria as well. For the content and analysis, we offer you 12 marks. Quality and the relevance of the recommendations, we offer you 12 marks. So basically for the content, we offer 24 marks. So you have to be well conscious about the content. Then the overall presentation with proper write-up and creativity. For the overall presentation, so you can be creative, you can use different colors, be professional, right? When I say be creative, don't be too too colorful. Be professional, right? Be professional and do it creatively while retaining your professionalism. So 6 marks for that. You can include pictures, not clip arts, real life examples. Real life pictures are there. For examples, the way of protesting, way of expressing ideas, there are some pictures. So you can include such ones. That's for learning for all of us. Not for don't include clip arts. Huh? Then this statement, the plagiarism avoiding statement should be included in the assignment in your third page. Cover page, then the task breakdown in the second page, and the third page should be this statement. Right? Declaration should be there. Declaration saying that you have to include all the index numbers of the members of the group, that you are not copied anyone else's thing. So remember, if we have found any similar 2 or 3 assignments, group assignments, අනිත් කණ්ඩායමෙන් හොරෙන් අරන් කරන් තියෙනවා නම් we are marking from 15 onwards. ලකුණු 15 වෙන් තමයි මාක් කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. right? එතකොට එතනම ලකුණු 15ක් අඩු වෙනවා. ඊට වඩා serious විදිහට දඬුවම් කරන්නත් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඔයගලන් බරපතල විදියට එහෙම වංචනික කටයුතු කරලා තිබුණා. පැහැදිලිද? And also I want to show you some websites to gather more information. Here, this is Google Scholar. Google Scholar. So in the Google Scholar, if I go to the beginning, here, this is the Google Scholar. If I write human rights, right, you can find articles on human rights. There are some articles actually, the links are not available, right here. The PDFs are here, the PDF is available. There are some ones PDFs are not available. In such cases, right, you see here, the DOI is there. Here, digital object identifier. Address of the article. You can copy the DOI. Yes. You can right. So you can copy the DOI, and there is a separate web called Skyhub. Right. This is not something good, but for you, like when you copy the DOI, so it's automatically opens up the document. Right. There is something like wrong with the DOI. So if you do it correctly, they will open it, Skyhub. Then you can go for this LawNet. In Sri Lankan, this is a Sri Lankan legal database. This is actually administered by Ministry of Justice. So the legislations, then the case laws, right? Articles, those things are some other links, international sources, right, are available. South Africa, United Kingdom, US, right, local. See, there are some links. So you can go for LawNet as well. And the other one, yes, those are the basics when you're doing some things to guide you. Now it's time for you to raise your questions, doubts, clear your doubts. Lawyer කෙනෙක්ගෙන් අහුවොත් ඒක කොහොමද මෙන්ෂන් කරන්නේ? ඒක මෙහෙම කරන්න. ඔයගලන් මෙහෙම කෙනෙක් ඉන්ටර්විව් කරා කියලා ඒක මේ attach කරන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයගලන්ගේ write up එකට group එකේ view එක විදිහට add කරනවා නම් add කරන්න. දැන් නැත්නම් as per the interview conducted with the lawyer. දැන් lawyer කෙනෙක් එක interview එකක් කරා නම් ඒක prove කරන්න evidence එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. assignment එකේ අගට annex එකක් විදිහට දාන්න. අමුණුමක් විදිහට දාන්න. Can we use Harvard referencing method to add references? If you are well conversant about Harvard, of course possible. You can use any possible. Harvard and APA are common for management research. Sometimes for law, actually there is a referencing method called OSCOLA. So OSCOLA is more what I told you, footnotes දානවා කියලා මම කිව්වේ. footnotes දාන එකට සමානයි OSCOLA කියන එක. ඒක law research වල තියෙන දෙයක්. නමුත් ඔයාලා management නිසා ඔයාලා ඔය management වලට සම්බන්ධ දෙයක් කරනවා නම් වඩා හොඳයි. අනාගතයටත් වැදගත් වෙනවා. APA හරි Harvard හරි වගේ එකක් කරොත් හොඳයි. පුළුවන් නම් විතරක්. නැත්නම් අනිත් අය අර මම කලින් කියපු අර සරල ක්‍රමයේ පාවිච්චි කරන්න footnote එකක් දාගෙන mention කරලා අන්තිමට ඔක්කොම reference list එකක් විදිහට දාන්න. Can we mention case laws from other countries? Of course you can. I told you. When you're comparing with other jurisdictions, definitely you have to cite cases from other countries. Do we have to add references after the report or under the detail? Yes. Once you complete the report, at the end of the report, include a reference list. Some are also saying it is bibliography. Bibliography, what is the difference between the reference list and the bibliography? Reference list mean exactly those are the list of that is the list of document you exactly used for the assignment. يعني assignment එක ඇතුලේ දීලා තියෙනවනේ. මම මෙයා refer කරා කියලා. ඒක ඒ කට්ටියම තමයි එන්නේ reference list එකට. දැන් bibliography එකට එන්නේ දැන් සමහර කට්ටිය අපි refer කරනවා හැබැයි ලියන්නේ නැහැනේ assignment එකට. ලියන්න නැති වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි කියවනවා ලියන්න නැහැ. එතකොට දැන් අපි කියවපු එක අපරාධනේ. ඒතර ඒ නිසා bibliography එකදී කරන්නේ අර assignment එක ඇතුලේ ඉන්න කට්ටියයි අපි කියවපු කට්ටියයි ඇතුලේ සඳහන් නොකරපු පිරිසයි මේ ඔක්කොම දාන තැන තමයි bibliography කියන්නේ. එතකොට reference style එකට අර අපි කියවලා අත්හැරපු කට්ටිය එන්නේ නැහැ. bibliography එකට අපි කියවලා අත්හැරපු කට්ටියගේ නම් ටිකක් එනවා. ඒකයි මේ දෙකේ වෙනස. Do we have to add reference after the report or under the detail? Under the detail and after the report both are possible. දෙකම කරාට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. එතකොට අර under the detail තියෙනකොට අපි දන්නවනේ මෙන්න මේක ගත්තේ මෙතනින් කියලා එතනම justify වෙනවනේ. එතකොට අන්තිමට දාන්නේ අර acknowledge දැන් ලස්සනට තියෙන්න එපැයි. අපි මෙන්න මේ documents ටික refer කරා කියලා. ඒ දෙකම දැන් footnote එක use කරනවා නම් දෙකම පාවිච්චි කරා. කියන්නේ reference style එකත් අගට දාන්න මේ footnote එකත් දාන්න. Is it an equal amount of mark that will be getting as team, or is it differ with the contribution that we are making? Equal mark. The whole group, this is a group assignment. No, if there was a viva or something, then we can give different marks based on the individual performance. But here we are doing what? Now what you are writing, we can't assess on that, but you have to refer what the contribution you have made to the group individually. But in terms of marks, you will, the whole group will get a 1 mark. Any other questions? So the assignment will be then an interesting one. So I wish you all the very best with the assignment. For the student who told that, can we mention case laws from other countries? මට පුතා ඔයාගෙන් අහන්න තියෙන එකම දෙයයි ඔයා මම මේ මෙච්චර වෙලා කරපු පැයක දේශනේ ඇහුවේ නැද්ද කියන කාරණේ. මම දේශනේ අවස්ථා 3-4 වෙලාවකදී කිව්වා විදේශ රටවල නඩු තීරණ ගන්න පුළුවන්. You can take case laws from different countries. You have raised these questions 3 times. I told you from the very beginning of the session. Can't you understand what I'm saying? You can do that. Anyway, maybe issues, connection issues then all the very best to everyone with the assignment, right? Enjoy the assignment, live in the assignment. You can do a wonderful task, find information. Don't ask anything with the content, but with the procedure, how you do the assignment and the way of doing the assignment. All the lecturers, entire panel of the lecturers are helpful to you all. So you can contact any of us regarding to clarify your issues with the procedure of the assignment. So then I will upload the recording soon after the session. So all the very best with you all. If you have any queries, I don't prefer WhatsApp. Sometimes for your some questions, it's hard to text. Therefore, anyway, I will send you a voice clip or something, right? Malinta mokada, voice clip or something. Otherwise, give me a call, right? Give me a call. I will clarify, right? Then thank you so much. All the very best.